Hello and welcome to Inverness. Honda has just launched these new CB500 series bikes for 2022, and we got to take them to North Coast 500 for a 500-mile test ride. All the bikes are basically similar sort of things. The engine is the same across the range, so 500cc twin engines. The chassis is largely the same. There's a few cosmetic differences, there's a few differences in terms of the riding position and the feel of the bikes, but they are effectively three flavors of the same thing. Starting with the F, that's the naked bike, and that's the sort of middle of the road bike, if you like, of the series. It is the most popular out of these three. Then we have the R, which is the sporty one, and the X, which is the adventure model. These bikes were first introduced in 2013, and since then they have had updates every 3 years or so. The last major update was the engine, where that went Euro 5. So this time around there's not been any engine updates. The only thing they've changed there is a slight tweak in the fuel injection, which is to get a little bit more what Honda calls torque feel and character out of the engine, which doesn't affect the power figures. Well, it can't really, because the power figures are already right at the top of the A2 license limits. So you get 48 brake horsepower. You can't get any more if you want to offer this bike as an A2 license bike. But other things have changed. There's quite a lot that has changed. There's new wheels for all the bikes, front and rear for the R and the F, and front for the X. The wheels are slightly lighter. There are new brakes at the front, so instead of the single brake disc, we now have twin brake discs, and radial calipers for the R and the F, axial calipers for the X. That's mainly just so that the braking feel isn't too harsh, which would then make the slightly longer suspension pitch a little bit on the X. They feel fine. And yes, talking about suspension, the forks are all new, so they are separate function fork, big piston Showa units, and it's the same technology on all three. The X just gets slightly more travel. They're taller forks. Other updates are the swing arm. That's slightly lighter now. That's been trimmed a little bit. The rear suspension is the same unit, but with slightly updated settings. Full pegs are new. You have aluminium jobs for the R and the F, and there's on the X there's rubber mounts on them. And LED lights, they already had LED lights, but now they have even more. The radiator is a little bit lighter, and because of the new brakes, the sort of weight balance of the bikes has shifted slightly forward, so there's ever so slightly more weight on the front wheel, which in theory gives you more grip at the front. So there's a fair bit of change. And it all combines into a very pleasant riding feel. Riding these bikes on the North Coast 500, they're all really good. They're only 500cc bikes, but they are very capable. They are right at the top of that A2 license power allowance, so 35 kilowatts. Is plenty on the Nadgerry roads that go around the northwest of Scotland. All of them handle really well. The sporty one, it's not that sporty. It's sporty with a small S, I suppose. It's quite comfortable. It's got clip-ons, but they are not too aggressive. The riding position is sporty. You have more weight at the front. but it's still quite comfortable. Almost the same, but with different handlebars, slightly more upright riding position is the F, where you ride a bit more upright, you have a bit more leverage from the wide bars, and it's a bit more of a comfortable place to be. And then going on the X, which is the most comfortable of the lot. It's the tallest, it's got the biggest, widest handlebars, it's got a big screen, and it's just got that big adventure feel about it. But they're all very capable bikes. They're also very frugal bikes. I managed to get 80 miles per gallon around the North Coast 500, so that's very impressive. We didn't really hang about either, so fuel economy is very good, and they are fun bikes to ride. When you ride 500s, you can feel like you're really ringing them. You know, you're on the stop sometimes on the throttle when you're trying to get a move on. They're great bikes. They're not going to be exactly the same as liter bikes. They're not going to have that power, that presence. But for fun riding, for urban use, for commuting, even for touring, they are perfectly capable bikes. They will be in dealerships by the end of this year, and the prices haven't been confirmed yet, but they are likely to be ever so slightly higher than what they are now. So expect the F to be around £6,000 and the R and the X around 6,500-ish, thereabouts. Yeah, go and have a look if you're into middleweight action.